You know, sometimes the internet can be an awfully mean place. Sometimes people get a little bit impassioned by what they like. So this week we had a GDC over in Germany. It's basically the E3 for Germany. And at GDC, Konami had a little bit of an announcement for the fans of Metal Gear. And, it's not a pachinko game, so there's that. You know, Konami's been they're making a Metal Gear Solid themed pachinko game. If not one, several. Oh yeah, that's old news. But more recently, they released a little trailer for a game called Metal Gear Survive. Doesn't it just sound captivating? Anyway, go on YouTube. It's one of the trailers that basically has, like, at the time that about a day after it had been released, this trailer, the trailer garnered 8,000 dislikes, which represents 90,000, or I'm sorry, 90% of the views disliked it. So what is this trailer all about? Well, what it is a 4-player co-op alternate universe to Metal Gear. And by the way, just full disclosure, I'm not a fan of Metal Gear Solid, but I don't dislike it. I've watched some people play it. With the exception of Assassin's Creed, I don't really like I don't like very many games that their main focus is stealth, because stealth you can really mess up and not do right. But some people, that I've talked to, they're big fans of Metal Gear Solid. So, apparently at the end of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, Big Boss, the main character of MGS5, is on some kind of platform. It's blowing up. He gets off of it in a helicopter, and there's a whole bunch of other people on the platform on it when it explodes, and you assume that they live. Well, or that they die. In this trailer, right after Big Boss gets up on this ladder and a helicopter and gets out of Dodge, this wormhole opens up in the sky and starts sucking up the platform and all the people on it, all these characters, I guess, that you interacted with in Ground Zeroes. And they're dropped in this, like, desert area, and there are these zombie-like things. I don't know what they're calling them yet, but they're kind of like, they have these crystalline horns coming out of their heads, and they're acting like zombies. It's basically a zombie game at this point. But you team up with 3 other people, and you're just trying to survive, and you have to work out as a team, and it's nothing at all of what Metal Gear Solid is about. I have seen enough Metal Gear Solid to know that it's about stealth. It has a lot to say about things like surveillance issues that people are concerned about. It has a lot of poignant, thoughtful things to say about social commentary, about, the possible future of war, all that stuff. This looks like it's just going to be a dumb, like, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City type of squad shooter. It looks dumb. And the internet has just exploded with some of the best responses to anything that Konami has released to this point. Some of them are not very kosher. But yeah, if you want to have a fun time, just look up hashtag Metal Gear Survive on Twitter, and you'll have some fun. But what do you think of Konami's actions lately? It's been getting a lot of hate online. Do you think it's completely warranted and deserving?
I don't know. Um, I haven't actually seen the trailer itself just because I myself am not a huge fan of the series. Uh, Not saying it's bad or anything. I just feel like I've kind of missed the train for that series, so I don't really want to hop on board. But did they show any gameplay for it, or was it really just like a just
It
cinematic trailer?
just cinematic CG trailer.
Okay. Um, I don't know. You know, I guess some fans of the series might be upset that they're going in a direction that's really not like how the game series usually goes. Um, it could be people just assuming that this is going to be a terrible game and that they're probably just trying to jump onto something else to make it, I don't know, appeal to another group. When I heard about it and I've seen some imagery from it and looking at it, I kind of get like a Nazi zombie type feel. Just
Hmm.
because like whenever you
Yeah.
if you've ever played like a Nazi zombie game, I think the first one they all get like sucked up and thrown into some random place, and like no one knows where they're at, but there's just zombies coming up for no reason. So they're like, oh, now we have to fight to survive.
That sounds exactly like the plot of this game.
Yeah, so it could be that, and people could just be complaining that it's just a Nazi zombie ripoff. Maybe people not like complaining about it because they're like taking the idea from Call of Duty, but complaining about it as in like this isn't what these people are supposed to be doing, and this is just weird. At
Hmm.
the same time, there hasn't really been any gameplay out, so the idea might be kind of dumb. But for all you know, the game could be good. It could be okay. It could be fun to play with for other people. So I think that some people might be jumping the gun a little bit too much, but I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean there are some positives about it. One detail I haven't mentioned yet is it's not going to be a fully priced $60 game. They haven't announced a price for it, but it does sound like it's going to be a much more, simplified um, game. So at least they're being smart with that aspect. They're not asking for full price for it. Um, it looks to be running on the same engine as the Metal Gear Solid 5 games are running on, which is a gorgeous, I think they call it the Fox engine. Um, really nice looking game. Uh, but the thing is, I think everyone's upset about is, of course, Hideo Kojima left Konami. It was very public, and just it was very obvious that he wasn't being allowed to make the kind of games that he wanted to make. In fact, he didn't really even get to finish the Phantom Pain. It was his name was like taken from the box. I think all the boxes for the Metal Gear Solid games have had like Kojima Productions on it. It's basically like having Sonic Team on a game made by Sonic Team, and then Sega just says, you know what, we have a problem with your head guy, so we're just going to take that label off. That'd be a big deal, um, and even more so here because he basically made like 99% of the game, and to take his name off the box, that didn't sit well with people. He wasn't allowed to go to some event where he was supposed to receive an award for the game. Konami like legally made sure he wasn't allowed to go to pick it up, so I had to like drop by later at someone's office to pick it up. All this is just kind of like all these stupid little, really high schoolish behaviors that have been going on at Konami, and then like I said before, pachinko games. They're taking their popular series and making them into a pachinko game, which are only popular in Asia, by the way. They're not known in the U.S. and Europe, from what I understand, has any interest in those. So fans are upset about those decisions, and then to just make a Metal Gear game, it's not going to have Kojima at the helm, and it's obviously something different. And a lot of other people online who've commented about it have said basically like, well, what probably happened here is the Konami higher ups are like, wow, Metal Gear Solid 5 sold a lot. Can we make another one? Well, we got rid of Kojima. Well, what can we make? Well, let's use zombies. Because we don't have enough of zombie games out there as it is. And to me, zombies aren't played out at all. For me, I understand how some people can be getting kind of tired of them, but zombies do not fit in with Metal Gear any more than they would fit in with like an Assassin's Creed game. It just, no. That and the fact that this plot looks like it is the worst fan fiction only real, and I understand the outrage. But yeah, if you want to laugh, just look at all these reactions to Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, those comments are hilarious.